What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of the Jones Family Channel. It's me, Rickey Jones Jr. We also have the oh so lovely
Chrystle Jones
back again for another video, which I'm excited to get into, largely because it's been asked, and you know, we're gonna have some fun with it because people's been wondering what is it like for as far as lifestyle, culture, and more, which the more, y'all stay tuned for the more, but what is it like living in South Africa as opposed to America? Like, what are the differences? What are the similarities? And truth be told, that video can go for really, really long. And so we'll do three for each one, just to, you know, maybe bring out our best one or the one that you might not have thought about that would fit in that category. But at the end of the day, we hope that you can hear the differences of living here as opposed to what life was like in the States. If you're looking to make the move, or even if you're living in South Africa, you'll get an idea of what it's like in the States as opposed to what we've grown to get accustomed to while living here. And so, starting with lifestyle, how you want to go? You, ladies first, or what do you want to do? How you want to do it?
I can start this one first, I guess.
Okay.
So I would say, as far as a lifestyle, in South Africa, it is a lifestyle of convenience. And I say that in large part because of the malls, having the grocery stores, the banks, all the things you want and need are found at the mall, centrally located, versus in the States, like, you have to go to a grocery store, then you need to go to the mall, then you need to go to the bank, then you need to go to the furniture store, and then you could go to the movies. Like, everything is very broken up in the States. And so that's one thing. When you go to get gas, you know, in most places, I think New Jersey is like the only place that I know of where you don't pump your own gas. So in the States, you pump your own gas, rain, sleet, or snow. You are getting out and you are pumping your own gas. That's a big thing. So I feel like here there's very much a mindset and a lifestyle of convenience that they try to provide here in the South African culture.
No, that's good. That's good. One of my things is how here in South Africa, it's like a slower type lifestyle, in a sense where when you meet people, when you talk to people, they, you know, say sawubona, or they say hello, how is it, or, you know, different things like that, and they truly wait for an answer. They truly wait for a response, and really will have a conversation with you. Like, I will walk around places and I was just thinking, like, do I want to say where? But nonetheless, I walk around spaces and places, and people will have a full-blown 25-minute conversation with you as if, you know, you went down to meet them. However, that wasn't the case. As opposed to in the States, where in some cases, some states in the States, you don't even look at people, you don't talk to them. It's just not the culture. It's not the way. It's not how people live life in that area. As opposed to like in the South, where you can talk to people, you can have good conversations with people. It is an area where, you know, in some states, you don't meet a stranger. However, in South Africa, I love that, and how people interact with each other, and how, you know, we here for each other. And I love that lifestyle because that fits me. I don't meet a stranger, and at the end of the day, I'm sometimes okay with having a conversation, but it's sometimes I want to get to where I'm going. And so, you know, it's fun, but it's an adjustment that I believe we'll all experience in due time.
It's funny. I think you just said two in one, because you said it's a slower lifestyle, but then you talked about
culture.
You just talked about the interactions of people more than anything.
Yes.
So it's like, it was just funny.
Got you. So I changed it, you said?
You changed it.
Oh.
Like, oh yeah, it's a slower lifestyle. You go and you talk to people, and people are so talkative, and we communicate with each other, and you walk around and you don't meet a stranger. And
yeah, okay, well, because I got locked in on the conversations. Yes. But even like business-wise as well, right? Or going out to eat. So thank you, help me out. Even going out to eat, it takes a while.
It does.
It takes a while.
It does.
And that's not the norm. In the States, you get to your table and your waiter or waitress will ask you, do you know what you want to drink? And if you say no, okay, cool, then I'll be back. And they'll come back in like a minute or two. Do you know what you want? And the expectation is once you put in your order, your appetizer is going to come out in less than 10-15 minutes, which I don't even know how they cook food that fast. But anyway, it's going to come back that fast. And then your main course and things like that, as opposed to here, you just want to carve out 2.5 hours, truth be told.
Yeah.
2.5 hours for a dining experience, and you won't be upset with the time that you spend. So yes, it is in context with talking to people, but then, you know, it transcends to dining, to business. And, you know, I don't want to touch on that because I'm still a little, you know, I won't say vexed, but a little hurt as it pertains to that. But it's all good because all things work together for the good.
Yes.
But it is a slower lifestyle.
Yes. And I would say that it's also a very family-oriented lifestyle.
I like that.
Here they have so many restaurants that are very intentional about if you have kids with you, you don't have to expect your kids to just sit at the table the whole 2.5 hours, right, and color something that the coloring lasts 5 minutes, maybe 4. And you know, they're just expected to just sit there. No, they have play areas, so many fun things to do. And not only that, there are attendants that watch the children while you're continuing your dining experience. And it's not just at, like, in the States, anything that's similar to that is just like a fast food restaurant, like a Burger King or McDonald's that has a little play area. No, here you can go to nice restaurants with nice food and have a true dining experience. And the kids have tons of stuff to do. And like I said, they're monitored by attendants. And so I think that in and of itself speaks to the very family-friendly lifestyle. But then also you can go so many places. With your kids. They have tons of kids activities, from bounce rooms to, you know, just parks, playgrounds, like so many activities that encourage family time and you spending time with your family. And so I think that's something that's very different from the lifestyle in the States.
No, that's so very true. And if I was to like steal from a conversation that we had just the other day, the quality of the air and the quality of just how things operate here, I won't say naturally, it's so much better. Why do I say that? Because there was this couple that we met with, and she was saying how she wasn't able to like raise her arm past her shoulders in the States. Well, while here, she's been able to like elevate it and raise it without any pain pills or anything like that. And then the husband shared how while here, he hasn't been snoring, as opposed to in the States, he would snore due to the air quality and just how things are there. And then I even think about allergies, right? Because allergies was something that our family, you know, had, and so forth and so on. And here, not so much the case. Our kids have been better. I've been better, like with the air quality and so forth and so on. I suppose in the States, the air is bad. Like, and it's cool as well how, I'm even thinking about it, there's different states that have different problems. Like, I'm sure New York is very congested as opposed to maybe Tampa or Montana or, you know, some country place. But at the end of the day, the air quality here is so much better. And you can feel the difference if you're from the States when you come. If you're here in South Africa, know that you have a high quality air that you're breathing in. And of course, I'm speaking of here in Johannesburg, but then even in Cape Town, it was even nice. We put the windows down until it was too windy. Then we put the windows up. But I mean, it's just nice. The sun is nice. The sunset is nice. So just the nature aspect of life is definitely top tier.
Yeah, and lastly, I would say for me, when talking about lifestyle, for us, the weather, we didn't live in a place that had really all 4 seasons. It was like summer all year round.
Like Durban.
And so it's funny because even when people say like, how are you doing with the heat wave? It doesn't feel like a heat wave for us. We're used to the temperatures getting up to 40 degrees Celsius, like in the summer, maybe a little higher. Like we're used to an average, I would say probably like 37 degrees Celsius. Like it's nothing. Like, so to us, what you guys call a heat wave is like, this is a regular day. Like this is how we live life. But then we are freezing. When you guys are like, oh, the weather is nice, it's like, no, this is cold. Where's my coat? I'm pulling my boots back out. So I would say that has been a shift for us. Again, a lot of it has to do with where we come from in the States, but you know, even experiencing 4 seasons in one day, that's an adjustment here in Johannesburg.
Yes, indeed. Even the hell. I've never seen hell before, but hey, came here and found hell, and the kids love it. It's like Christmas to them because it's snow. But one of my things, I'm gonna talk about what y'all want to talk about, which is load shedding. Why not talk about it? Because it's being talked about usually in the comments. However, with it, that was something new that we've experienced for us. However, there are states in the United States that experience load shedding. They may not call it load shedding, but they do experience power outages and power shortages.
Rolling blackouts.
Scheduled. So, hello, it's just fancier names. You know what I'm saying? Call it what you want, but it's load shedding at the end of the day. And so for us, while here, we've made the best of it. Now, for us particularly, our apartment has a gas generator. And I found that different units are affected differently. So for our specific unit that we live in now, we only can't use the washer and dryer and the stove or the oven. Those are the things that are truly out during load shedding. Sometimes, depending on what level of load shedding, the aircon AC will go out as well. However, what we've done with that and making it a lifestyle is that, you know, we make the best. We look at the schedule, because there is a schedule of when load shedding will occur for our area, and we'll wash around that time. We'll cook around that time. Chrystle has bought an air fryer so that we can still cook around load shedding, even if it's happening or not happening. And so, you know, you make provisions. You work around it. You know what's taking place. And if it gets too unbearable where you currently are when load shedding takes place, you just go somewhere else. We went and took a family trip somewhere, I forgot where it was, when it was load shedding in our apartments, and it was just so unbearable that we had to get up out of here.
For him.
Yeah, no, I was so hot, and it's a vlog for it. Y'all have to go back. I don't remember which day it was, but I was hot, frustrated, and heated. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended, and eternally. And so I was like, let's get up out of this place. But all that to say, it's fun. You make the best of it. You make the most of it. And when it takes place in public, usually lights goes off, people say load shedding, and we joke, we laugh, and we keep it going. So all that to say, yes, load shedding is a thing that we had to adjust to while here. However, you can make the best of it, and so it just becomes a part of your lifestyle until it changes. One day it'll change. I'm optimistic. And so even let us know which one of the lifestyle culture difference, or not culture differences, but the lifestyle differences caught you by surprise and you think we should have talked about that we didn't. But now we can go to culture, okay? Because there are some different cultures as it pertains to South Africa and the United States. So I'll let you go first.
So one of the cultural differences is, I would say, the languages. There are 11 national languages in South Africa. In the States, it's English. And you might encounter Spanish, but really those are the only 2 main languages you're really gonna have to, you know, vacillate between. And I say that even lightly because a lot of people in the States do not speak any Spanish. And so it's just like, I don't know what you're saying. But here there is a culture where people know multiple languages, and it's expected that you should be able to speak at least one, or outside of English.
Right.
You should be able to speak at least one. Even though most people will still speak to you in English, there is an expectation and an understanding just through schooling. You learned at least more than just English. And so that is not the case in the United States. It's very possible that you went through all your years of school and no one expects you to speak anything other than English. So that is a major cultural difference. One that I love, honestly. I'm very fascinated by languages. And so that is one that is a major cultural difference, though. Yeah.
And so for me, I could say it's sports, right? So culturally in the States, our 3 main sports would be football, basketball, and baseball. I'm just throwing that in there because some people love baseball, and it's America's pastime. So, you know, those are the 3 major sports in the States, as opposed to here, it's football, right? Even with the F, but, you know, we would call it soccer. There's rugby and there's cricket, which cricket, I don't know nothing about. I tried to watch it, highly uninterested, so I just kept it moving. Rugby was a phenomenon last year, you know what I'm saying? We came here and they won the championship, so it was like off the chase. So, you know, it piqued my interest because of the hoopla and the fanfare around it. And then soccer, which or football, you know what I'm talking about, soccer. Like, it wasn't something, it's around, like, people do it, and it is becoming more popular in the States now that international players are coming there and playing there and doing different things in the States. However, like, little kids play it, and there's like a term, soccer mom, with the minivan and opening the door and kids running out. So it's like, it's a movement, but it's not like a thing. However, now that we're here, just now that we're here, we have to embrace what's here. And so even the kids playing football is no longer a thing, or baseball. Rickey was taken to baseball back in the States. My father, his grandpa, bought him like a glove and a bat, and he has some good hand-eye coordination. However, now we just have to make some adjustments. Now he's playing soccer at school, and we'll see if he loves it, like it, and go forth with it. However, just those dynamics are different, and even still to this day, I find myself still watching football. Back in the States, I just have to stay up late, or I have to watch highlights, or I'll just miss the game in totality, which has its pros and cons to it. However, that was a cultural differences that I had to embrace, and now people having conversations about soccer around me, and I just smile, I nod, because I know nothing about soccer just now, but I'm gonna learn, so I'm gonna start with the Pirates. Shouts out to the Soweto Orlando Pirates. I don't even know if you put all those things together, but I just did. But that'll be my team, and we'll see how it goes and grows from there. But that's a shock, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, and the last thing that I would say about just cultural differences is like returning things. Okay. I think that just across the board, I've seen a difference in how returning is handled here. Okay. And so, for one, if you buy like maybe some clothing or something from the store, like just the process of returning things is more, for lack of better terms, intense. It's in the States, like I could buy something and then I could just be like, I don't want this no more. And I'll just go to the store and I'll just take it back. And they don't ask me any questions. Like, they just take it back. As long as I have the receipt, or sometimes I don't even need the receipt. If I just have the card that I paid with, whether in person or on my phone or whatever, they're just like, oh, okay, they scan it. I don't even have to put my card in the machine or anything, and it just goes back automatically. Like, it's a quick, like, 2-second process. Yeah. Here it's like, oh, what's your phone number? Why are you returning this? Like, it's a whole thing. Do you have the paper receipt actually? Like, and it's just a whole thing. So I think there's just like this concept of like, if you're not sure if you want to have it, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Like, in the States, it's literally like buy now, decide later. Like, and even like the term that you have to return things, like, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months. Some stores, it's literally indefinite. Like, they don't care when you bring it back. And so that's definitely a difference. Yeah. I would say even with food, when you go out to restaurants in the States, if you bring me something to eat and I don't like it, I could just send it back. It's not a big deal. Like, I just say, oh, I don't like this. And the waitress will just say, oh, I'm sorry you didn't like it. What do you want instead? Here, it's like, we went out to eat somewhere and I didn't like something, and they were like, I was like, this isn't good. And they were like, what's wrong with it? And I'm like, it was steak. And I was like, it's tough. It's not cooked properly. It's not right. And I don't like it. And I was like, so I don't want it anymore. I want to get something else. And they're like, oh. And so, like, they had to get the manager. Yeah. And then the manager came over and the manager was like, what's wrong with it? And I'm like, it's not cooked right. Correct. I'm not going to just force myself to eat this, and it's not right. Like, and I wasn't being like rude or anything. Correct. I was being really cordial, and I was like, it's not cooked the way it should be. It's very tough for me. And so instead of having you try to do it again, I'll just try something else. And I'm the type of person, like, I'm only gonna take 2 bites before I change my mind. Don't eat half a meal and then say you want to send it back. Like, what is that? No. So I took like 2 bites, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm not gonna suffer through this. Yeah. And so, but then the manager's over there and he's like, so what is the issue? But it was like a whole 15-minute process just to send it back and get something else. But again, in the States, as soon as you say you don't like it, they're like, oh, fine, what do you want? Like, they take it away immediately. It's literally no big deal. I know Rickey had got something from the McDonald's and they gave him the wrong thing.
Oh yeah.
He ordered chicken strips.
Yeah.
They gave him chicken nuggets. He was gonna try to force it and eat it, but because he didn't notice until we got home. And I'm the person, I always check my bag. But he was like, you know what?
Also, you didn't check up for me?
He ate one of the nuggets. Well, I didn't check anything that time.
Oh, okay.
And so he ate one of the nuggets, but he's like, I can't. I don't even think he ate a whole nugget. He bit one. And he was like, I can't. He goes back to the McDonald's, and they took the nuggets and they put them back into the tray to be able to sell to other people.
Yeah, I was...
What?
Yeah, I was turned off from that McDonald's.
So it's like in the States, absolutely not. Them things are going right in the trash. Yeah. So much to the point that most places will even just say you could just keep it. Give it to your kids. I don't care what you do with it. But they don't even want you having the thought that they are going to try to resell that to somebody. So they won't even take it back a lot of times. Like, again, even at a restaurant, if you're like, I don't like this, instead of taking it back, they'll just say, well, see if anybody else at the table wants it. We'll take it off the bill and you can order something else. But again, they don't even want the thought to be there that they might try to give it to somebody else. So a lot of times they'll just leave it and, you know, whatever. But again, here, the returning process is different.
It's different. It's different. And I'll say for me, like culturally, I'm gonna say it this way, there's a wider gap of people having help and assistance a part of like their everyday lives here as opposed to in the States. So let me break that down. In the States, like you have to be wealthy or very well to do in order to have like somebody to clean your house or to be a nanny to your kids or to even have a tutor for your kids and different things like that, like just help oriented services in the States. Very expensive for a select few group of people as opposed to here, right? In which at the end of the day, we are Americans coming here. So, you know, maybe you're watching this and like, no, it's the same thing as it is in the States. Okay, cool. I'll receive that. However, I've come in contact with larger groups of people here that have help, that have, you know, sometimes people cleaning their houses multiple times a day, living with them or coming in and nannying their kids and so forth and so on. I'm like, whoa, like, you know, and even we get messages, people asking us, hey, do you all have help? I would love to be your help or help you to connect with the help. And we're like, no, we don't. Largely because it's something totally radically new to us that we haven't yet leaned into or become open to, largely because we don't have to, right? We're in an apartment, it's 4 of us. I mean, we can clean the spaces that we're in. And, you know, maybe there is benefit to it one day if it's a larger home and so forth and so on. However, like culturally speaking, it's the thought for us to now be able to afford like help it goes over my head.
Yeah.
I hear it. I think I'm like, man, that must be expensive. But, you know, there's levels to it, obviously, with everything. However, culturally speaking, like, it's a thing. And I've met, you know, Americans, South Africans, the list goes on, that has help. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, when I hear they have, I'm like, oh, they rich. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a thought, culturally speaking, back in the States that I would say is not so much the case here. And I mean, that's a fun thing for me.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
Right. And so, you know, there's that. And then last but not least, my third one I would say is like the music, which I love. I'm a piano, which is here in South Carolina, I was about to say, but South Africa, as opposed to in the States, like it's a mix. The States has its own type thing, but even as well, culturally speaking, you all, when I say you all, my South African brothers and sisters, y'all be out here bopping American music too, and I'm like, whoa, like playing old school music, which Dr. Saad talked about in his interview, and I just find that fun because, you know, in the States there is like reggae, that's like one of the main international type, you know, genres that has come in, and others are coming in as well. However, like reggae is the main one, but here it's like y'all getting it. Y'all getting like American music. And I'm thinking like, man, that's playing here. Oh, we hear like Justin Bieber or Lindsay Lohan playing in the mall. I'm thinking, what in the world? And so I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. But culturally speaking, y'all are grasping I'm a piano. It's becoming bigger and bigger. And I say all that to say, hold on to it. Like, have your identity, bump it, rock it, because it's a move, right? Shouts out to my brother Homo Lee, who's making music as well, producing and even jumping on tracks. So, you know, I'm gonna support my people that are here because it's a movement that I think as well will travel internationally as it already has, right? And so, ready to get to the more?
Listen, I'm like, what more is there?
There's more. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Some differences of South Africa and America. We're gonna talk about driving, okay? It's been talked about. We're gonna talk about it again because it's a part of the more. I'm not gonna say it's a lifestyle because we don't, you know, want to get conditioned to this the way it is. And I'm not gonna say it's a culture as well, but it's the more category. And driving out here, man, it's a movie. You know, people ask us all the time, like, how has it been adjusting to driving here? And as I say to all of them, give yourself a week, right? And I even tell people specifically, if you're looking to move here, rent a car first, tear up their vehicle if you just so happen to tear up a vehicle, return it, get insurance, all those things, return it, as opposed to doing your vehicle, your personal vehicle. And because it's a sight to behold. There's taxis that you have to look out for, of course. There's the motorbikes that you have to look out for, pedestrians that you have to look out for, and other drivers that you have to look out for. And last but not least, potholes that you have to look out for. Those 5 things will keep you alert at all times. You know, just wandering eyes, looking about here. My kids, which, you know, kids gonna be kids. Hey, daddy, look at this scratch behind. No, I'm not looking back there. I gotta look ahead. There's enough for me to look at in my front and my sides that I can't look behind me. But all that to say, like, it's a fun experience. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Chrystle, who has done it. You know, people are always shocked when they find out that Chrystle drives here regularly, even by herself at places, but she does a good job. She makes it home every time. And you know, I find myself looking around the car and there's no dings or dings. So shouts out to her. She's done a marvelous job doing so. But definitely got to talk about that driving, because in the States, I will say this because it is a comparison. In the States, like, it does vary as far as location, like what your driving experience will be. New York drivers are different than Cali drivers. Cali traffic is similar to Atlanta traffic, as opposed to Tampa traffic, and driving experience is totally different. So, like, there's the dynamic that you have to get in where you fit in. And then I always saw somebody say India's drivers are the worst, or driving in India is the worst. So, you know, it is what it is internationally. However, it's a major difference here. And so, boom shakalaka.
Yes, and I would say in my more category, I would put like beauty, I guess you could say.
I was hoping you did that.
And I say that because it's so much more affordable here. And I love that because I feel like every woman and man should be able to look nice at an affordable price.
Ooh,
like
bars.
Bars. And I love that so much about South Africa, honestly. Like, there are things like getting your nails done. We were just talking to some people that were visiting from the States yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I went and I got my nails done. I got my toes done. I, you know, was able to just enjoy this whole like experience and the spa and everything. And it only cost like $50 US dollars. And it was like,
because... Well, say what you was going.
Well, and it was at one of the like higher end salons, even at that, in the mall, and it was like, so $50, let's say, so it's almost like 1,000 rand, which for nails and toes. And I know it's like, man, that's high. When I was in Santon, so yeah, Santon prices. But also in the States,
there it is,
just to get your nails done easily, not feet, just nails, I will walk out $100.
Facts.
Dollars. US dollars. And that's like before a tip or anything.
I was hurt every time.
1,000 rand to tip. I tipped 3 attendants.
I was hurt.
I got my nails done and I got my toes done.
Yeah.
All of these things for $50, including being able to tip people well. And I'm a generous tipper. Being able to tip people well, like, y'all, $50 in the States, again, just for nails. You better not have a diamond, a style, a special shape or nothing. $100, and it's like lashes, $250. You guys, what is that in rand? That's like almost 3,000 rand just to get your lashes done. Like, these are things that, you know, again, I feel like you should be able to be pretty. You should be able to just like be pretty, or even you're pretty naturally without the lashes, the nails, all the things, but you should be able to cater to yourself and do things that help you feel the best about yourself when you step out of the house at a reasonable price. And here it's just like a reasonable price. I'm doing some laser treatments, laser hair removal treatments in the States. Thousands of dollars. Here I'm able to go and get it done for $15 like
per treatment.
And so it's like those types of things, it's just, I love it. I love it so much, like that I can just do various things. And like I said, I feel like everybody should be able, even in the States, you can have haircuts that cost $100.
Facts. And it won't be the best.
As a man,
I was chopped up.
He got cut up and everything.
I had lines and scrapes. Yeah.
Like $100 for a haircut for a man. Like, what?
Yeah.
This doesn't even make sense. Like, this is crazy. But here you can go get a haircut and they not doing all the stuff, washing your hair and getting you all, you know, together. Like, but here they treat you so well. And I think even then the services that have been done, whether it's nails or hair or whatever, the people are also just so kind, and that's what makes me want to tip them really well. They do a good job and they are so kind and everything like that. And so I would say like that's something that's in my more category.
Boom diggity. Mine, the next thing for mine is food. Food in South Africa is so much more cleaner, so much more healthier. You heard us say it before, but I can't say it enough, largely because as well, we say it. And then we come in contact with people who visit and get to experience it themselves, and they say it too. Largely because in the States, things are highly processed. Things are made to last for an exponential amount of time, right? Things are loaded with sugar. That's one of the main things that happens in the States. A lot of the drinks, a lot of the foods, a lot of the snacks, a lot of the things that you get even at fast food places or restaurants are loaded with salt and sugar. So when you come here, you have to make an adjustment, even with the Cokes, the Sprites, the Fantas, the cookies, the candy. They're all, well not all, most of them have less sugar, and so there's an adjustment. The sodas taste different, and so I had to make the adjustment, but then I recognized the beauty and the benefit of the difference, not having so much sugar in my things and so forth and so on. So, you know, there's that benefit. But then even the meats, they're far more healthier, they're far more cleaner. I'm more apt to try them out. The beef, I'm trying it. I've tried it here for the first time in a long time. Even the biltong, I even went for that because y'all saw it on the live. Rain was determined for us to try it. And even shouts out to her, like, you know, her and them, they are trying new things, they're experiencing new things, they're enjoying the new things. But then even back to the food itself, it's cleaner, it's healthier. And even like I don't even know if you noticed, but when we went to the Woolworths, I went to go get fruit. I love fruit, and I picked up some mango and I wanted some cherries, but the cherries weren't in. And so I asked an attendant, I was like, hey, where are the cherries? They were like right here not too long ago, or last month. And she was like, they're not in season. And I was like, oh, okay, excuse me. And even on the mango container it says in season. So that speaks volumes, right? Because in the States, you can get fruit year round. Like,
anything year round.
Any fruit year round. It is what it is. Now, granted, as you all may be thinking like, what, how? That doesn't mean it's gonna taste good, right? But it does show you that it is processed and modified and chemically induced and things of that nature. So there's that lack of a benefit. However, I love it here because, I mean, they care. It shows to me that they care about the people. And so they're not just pumping up and creating fruits in the lab, or, you know, in some place where it's not a garden or factory, if you will. But, you know, there is a true season to fruit. in real life, and we see it in the stores. And for those reasons, like, I love. And then lastly, pulling on the conversation with the couple, they came here and he was like, they lost weight. Like, that is a thing that takes place with people. They come and lose weight because they aren't filled with such the unnecessary additives that are in foods back in the States. It's not happening here. So shouts out to my brothers and sisters on that note.
Yes, and so I would say the last thing for me in the more category is the health care. And so it's more affordable here, and you know, affordable coming from a person that, you know, I know we moved here, and so for us, different things are more affordable
in general.
But literally being able to take our daughter to the dentist and something costing $50, what is that, like 1,000 rand, where in the States that same thing costs like I don't even know how to do the math.
Like, just do it in dollars
because it's so much more. But literally costing like $1,000, like, and $50 here versus $1,000 in the States, and that's $50 with not using insurance, versus in the States that's $1,000 and I use insurance, and they still said come back in 2 weeks. It's the cost of being healthy in the States is so high. Even down to the foods, like if you want to eat healthier, like saying maybe let me eat a salad and some grilled chicken for lunch versus a burger and fries, that salad and grilled chicken is easily gonna cost you 3 to 4 times as much than if you just eat the burger and fries.
That's good.
Like, so it's literally like, here you have to pay more when there's more sugar or different things like that inside the food. In the States, you're paying more money if you're trying to, healthier you try to eat, you want to eat something that they didn't put all those additives and preservatives and stuff into, that costs more money. You want to eat a salad instead of a burger, that's gonna cost more money. You want to get a fresh juice blended instead of having the juice that's gonna last for 6 months, that's gonna cost more money. Everything you do that is healthier costs at least 3 to 4 times more money. A lot of people don't go to the doctor because it costs so much money. Even when you pay insurance, you gotta pay what's called a copay. So the way the insurance works in the States, monthly, your employer takes money out of your check, a couple $100s, out of your check that's going to go towards your insurance. When you end up actually booking an appointment to go to the doctor, you pay additional money because you decided to actually go to the doctor. And so it's so expensive just to even keep up with going to doctor's appointments regularly and stuff. So a lot of times people don't, because they're just like, man, it's gonna cost so much money and I'm already having to pay money just to be there. And so or just to have insurance. So I would say that's a big thing that's also great. I feel like healthcare is a necessity. It's important. People being healthy is important. And I feel like, to me, the South Africa government or whatever, they care more about people at least trying to be healthy.
No, that's so good. And then on the flip side, if you are here and you're trying to still do things wrong, such as like buy Lucky Charms, which is a cereal full of sugar, you pay a lot more for that cereal as you would the regular cereal that doesn't have as much sugar. So that was even a thing that you have pointed out that I was like, that's good, because if you want to have the bad things that are bad for you, you have to pay more, rather than the flip side of it being like that, or the flip of it in the States. So no, that's good. That's good. And I love that. And so, what are you about to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. And my last thing, as it pertains to the more category that is different in South Africa as opposed to the States, is the schools. Okay. So I had to say it because it's been said in another video, but I can't amplify it enough, like hype it up enough, because we are parents with small kids, and there are parents with kids that are even looking to move here. And one of the first things I will say is, get your kids in school, right? That would be one of the main things I would suggest. Get your kids in school, largely because, which I get, a lot of people did homeschooling back in the States because of the curriculum, because of what things are being pushed on kids back in the States, because of school shootings and just different things like allegations with teachers and students. Like, it's an abundance over there in the States, right? I'm like saying over there like United States is that way. For this video it is. But I will say all that to say I understand people have taken their kids, and then COVID happened, and a lot of people had their kids at home, and they just kept them at home because it was conducive and it worked for you. However, now that you're in South Africa, and speaking to my South African brothers and sisters, you all school systems are amazing, like top tier. Chrystle talked about the multiple languages that people know, and they start them early, right? Rickey, stage 5 or kindergarten, as we would say in the States, he's already picking up other languages, singing different songs with multiple languages in that song. And I'm like, okay, brother, go ahead. Yeah. And I try to sing it along with him. No, not like that. This is how you say it. And I love that. Rain now in grade 2, 2nd grade, and she's learning multiple languages and talking to kids, meeting kids from other countries, speaking multiple languages. I love that. But then as well, not only the languages, but the extracurricular activities. Beautiful. Rain came here, started playing cricket last term. She's playing tennis this term. She's taking, well, possibly taking etiquette class. We'll see if they reach back out to us. Right. But even with that, like even chess and dance, like she's doing that a part of her school day, and even learning how to swim. We said it possibly before, but I can't edify that enough. Learning how to swim, a part of your school day, a part of your PE class, it's not a thing. We came from Florida, a space and a place that you would expect for all kids to know how to swim. Ours didn't. Why? Because we were having to take them to class outside of school, outside of the everyday work day, which was a Saturday, and it just wasn't conducive. We tried it and it didn't work out for us, but nonetheless, the schools here are top tier. They have what you would expect for a kid with a global perspective to be able to matriculate through school and graduate with a diploma that says, you know, they truly are ready for the world. Because every kid that I've come in contact with, they do have that world perspective. They're aware of what's taking place with things even outside of South Africa. And I think that's an invaluable commodity and asset that the school systems here provide. And so I'm a proponent for schools in general, but specifically as well for South African schools, because they've shown me to be so much better than the schools I've come in contact with in the States. And so
as far as like, especially as far as like public schools. Thankfully our kids were in a charter school, which talk more about that in another video. So definitely big ups, shout out to the school that they came from in the States. They were an exception for sure,
very much
to what you normally see the standard of schools being. But
and so boom shakalaka, those are the things. Now let us know, as I didn't say it in after the culture category, but if there was some things that you were like, oh man, y'all didn't talk about this as opposed to there, right? Let us know, and you know, maybe we'll do a part 2. This was fun because there are differences as it pertains to South Africa and America, and it seems as though in every category South Africa was better in that category. So you know, it is what it is. Like, maybe we've come to experience the better here, and that's what's on the forefront of our minds. Or, you know, like Rain has said to us, we're becoming more South African than we know, because that's like her thing here lately, which we'll talk about it on the live on Friday. But at the end of the day, great people, we love you all. We appreciate you all. Thank you for tapping in and tuning in with the content and with the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you have, we thank you, as we're on our way to 50,000 subscribers. So until next time, great people, peace.